The latest and greatest Intel Hades Canyon NUC, a small but insanely powerful computer, so I've been told. We're going to build it today and test it. A little bit of gaming, a little bit of productivity, video editing, photo editing, and maybe even just down to some word processing. What can this thing do and how far can you push it? Massive shout out to Intel for sponsoring this video. Let's build it, let's test it, let's get into it. So these Intel NUCs are, well, they're called, as you can see here, a mini PC kit. Now, I and many other people have been put off these because it says the word kit. You don't just buy one of these computers and it just works. You have to build it yourself and put an OS on it. I mean, you can buy them pre-built, but why would you when it is actually so easy to build these little NUCs? In fact, I have everything we need here. Bag of screws, which come with this kit. I have an NVMe, this is a 512 gigabyte version, and then I have 32 gigs of Corsair RAM DDR4, and that is all you have to do. It's not like you've got to build the motherboard together and put a GPU in it. You just add your own storage and your own RAM. So, inside of here we've got a Core i7 8th gen and discrete Radeon RX Vega M graphics, which I'm buzzing to test out. But let's talk about what's on the outside in the form of ports. So we've got a headphone jack here which doubles as an optical out if you get an adapter. We have our proprietary power cable here, and then right here, two USB-C ports. Please note, these are Thunderbolt ports, so you can connect an external display with these and have some crazy speeds at the same time for devices. Two display ports, daisy-chained Ethernet is what I can assume these two ports are for, so if you've got loads of these set up in, let's say, an office environment, you can daisy-chain them all together, which is super, super cool. Or USB 3 ports there, and then an HDMI, and then if you flip this thing around to the front, this is what I really, really like. You've got a lovely nice power button there. You've also got an SD card reader, two more USB 3 ports, and then another HDMI port, and then another super speed port, USB-C, and then another headphone dash microphone jack. This thing has got the same amount of ports on it as my goddamn desktop. I'd even go as far to say it's got more ports on it than my desktop. It's the size of my face. We've also got some lovely little rubber feet on the bottom, and then this lovely sort of honeycomb textured top, which actually has something really cool going on here. We will get to that in just a second. This thing is that small, it comes with a VESA mount. Now you guys thinking, Alex, a VESA mount is for a monitor. Well, if you wanted to sort of make your own makeshift all-in-one. And then the only downside I can see of this is the power supply. Yes, because this thing is so small, it does require an external power supply. It is big, it's almost as big as the unit itself, but the good thing is that this has a really long cable, so you can sort of have this attached to a monitor and then have this on the floor and run this up to the NUC. Right, let's build this. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see how easy this is going to be. Apparently, you just take this Allen key, which is included, and just undo all of these screws here on the top. So there we go, guys. There is our last of the 6 screws on the top. Let's keep those in a safe place so we don't lose them. And then this should just lift off nice and easy, which is just a plastic sheet on the top of the unit. Now, as you can see, if you guys come in and look a little bit closer at this, you start to get a little bit scared at this point. You're like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm going to break it. You are not. This is what you are meant to do. And this is also really cool. We'll get onto what this does in a second. There we go. Nice and easy like that. Wow. So as you can see here, guys, this thing is an absolute work of beauty. We have our Wi-Fi card over here. As you can see, we have a awesomely engineered heatsink for our i7 8th gen processor under there. And then here we have 2 SODIMM slots, and then we have 2 M.2 slots. So if you wanted to, you could really kit this thing out, give it terabytes of sort of SSD, fast SSD storage, M.2, and then put a load of RAM in here. I think actually the max is 32 gigs. So I've got a little 32 gig kit here from Corsair, as to which we are going to install. I'm going to show you guys how easy this is. Right, so you line it up like that, and it's going to go in like that, and then you simply, just with even force, and you'll hear a nice satisfying click. There we go, 1 DIMM in, Make sure it's pushed all the way in. And shocker, that's it. Now it's time for storage. And here is our 512 M.2 NVMe drive by Intel. So you've got 2 slots. I'm going to choose this one right here. You put this top plate back on, making sure to run this cable for the LED controller back through there. And then you simply just push this little cable back into there. Done. Tighten these up. So there is the last of our 4 screws, and now we get our top plate, we put this back on, and then we put these back in here. So guys, that is our NUC built. Now all we have to do is download an ISO of Windows 10, burn that to a disk and or a USB drive. Once all that's done, well, you give it some power, give it a display, in this case HDMI, up to my TV. As you guys can see, Windows up and running in seconds. Now, the LEDs on this, we've got 3 different zones. We've got the lights, or sorry, the eyes, the lights in the eyes, and then we've got the actual skull itself, and then the power button, which we can change the color of, or fully just turn them off if you've got this thing maybe in a work environment. We've got discrete Vega graphics in here, which should let us pull a couple of cool frame rates and a couple of cool games. So guys, we'll test that little bit of gaming performance. I've just opened up PUBG and we'll see how it runs. Whilst it's opening up, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of problems that I had with the computer. First one being the audio. I couldn't have audio from this computer until I'd installed the drivers in a Windows update, which was a little bit weird. I've never seen that before. A couple of other things as well. My Wi-Fi was maxing out at around 10 megabits per second, but again, that was rectified after I'd installed the Windows update for this device. And also my graphics were maxing out at around 1080p, but that's because I hadn't installed the Windows drivers and also the Intel drivers for the Vega graphics. Once they were all installed, everything is now fine. So guys, as you can see, I'm demonstrating this computer's performance with a little bit of PUBG gaming. Now, it is important to note that everything in this is being played at 4K and at, well, everything is on ultra. Let me just show you guys. Settings, 4K up there, and then if I scroll down, everything is on ultra. And bear in mind how small, guys, that little Intel NUC is, and I don't really want to focus this little video on gaming necessarily, because this computer can do much more than just play a few little games, but this is just to demonstrate the core power of that discrete graphics unit inside of the Intel NUC. Like this is incredible, really. Okay then, so guys, moving on from gaming, I want to try out a little bit of editing performance and seeing what this thing can do, crunching a little bit of Premiere Pro. Now, as you guys can see, there's some shots in here from the video that we have just shot today, and I'm cutting these together like nobody's business, to be honest with you guys. If we cut to this moving shot here, there's so many use cases for this little NUC. It's unbelievable. I don't know. I just think this is insane because there's so many use cases for it. I could chuck this behind my TV over there. You could have this as a dedicated streaming computer. You could have it for a dedicated editing computer, or even just a rendering computer. You could run a server on here. I could have this set up in my server rack and it could run my entire security system for my house. Like, the possibilities, because this thing is so small, are endless. Like I mentioned earlier, mount it on the back of a computer, build your own all-in-one, put it in a school, put it in a hospital. Intel have nailed it. But for now, guys, my name's been Alex. This has been TechFlow. We've just taken a look, the first time at an Intel NUC. And we'll see you in the next one. If you want to subscribe, guys, you can click that subscribe button right there. We've got some other relatable content there too, guys, if you want to check it out. But for now, my name's been Alex and this has been TechFlow. We shall see you in the next one.